Thanks for staying with us. Time now for Media Watch with James Creedon. So, James, we're going to start off with a story about protests in Chile. It seems that the international media is finally picking up on this.
That's right. I mean, I suppose for the last number of months, protests in the Arab world and elsewhere have taken attention of the media away from what's happening in other parts of the world. And in Chile, they're calling it the Chilean winter. It is, of course, for the past number of months, winter time in the southern hemisphere. And that for 2 to 3 months, there have been protests, mainly led by students. And I think we have pictures of what happened in Santiago de Chile yesterday, where up to 900 students were arrested. Now, the thing is, the protests have many different facets to them. People are asking for energy policy to be reformed. There's also protests about transport policy. But most of the protests are centred on the education system, and students are asking for $1.8 billion dollars rather to be invested per year into, I suppose, a struggling university and secondary school education system. So there you go, very, very severe protests. But online, if we have a look at the New York Times, they've been looking at this protest back over the months. It turned quite violent yesterday, but it's been a very creative protest, in fact, and they're looking at various videos that have been posted online. Here you have students dressed as superheroes. There's another one where they faked a mass suicide, kind of grimly. This one here shows what they call a kissathon in the central square in Santiago de Chile, and I think we have some pictures that we've edited of some of those moments of the kissathon in the Place des Armes, or Piazza des Armas, or however you say it, Plaza des Armas in Chile. So I suppose what turned violence yesterday was in fact quite good-humoured over the last number of months and extremely creative. For example, one at the moment around the presidential palace, you always have a number of students trying to do laps. They're trying to clock up 1,800 laps to symbolise the $1.8 billion dollars they want invested every year. So there you go. It's interesting to see online evidence of what's been going on for months, but the media is only now picking up on.
Well, in some of the protests that perhaps have clocked up more column inches over the last few months, the French press have picked up on an idea that perhaps it started to be exploited by big business. In the
Arab world, that's correct. And here there's a website, ONI, based in Paris, which looks at sort of cultural issues online. And they're talking about how marketing companies have sort of copped on to the idea that the Arab Spring is kind of quite a nice idea and makes for quite nice pictures. So just a very quick look at some of those pictures. You have an ad in Syria for a clothing company showing people draped in the Syrian flag. I suppose picking up on the fact that there has been quite a lot of uprising sentiment, if you like, in Syria. We also have pictures of Coca-Cola and what they've done in Egypt. They've also tried to jump on that particular bandwagon, and you have pictures of an ad there, and it finishes actually on Tahrir Square. So I suppose you could say there's something a little bit cynical about a movement that was much more about poverty and poor issues in the country, in these various countries being exploited by companies like Coca-Cola.
Well, and finally, French Vogue stirring up controversy, I see.
That's right. Now, this is a pretty controversial issue. They've basically, and we have pictures of this, a 10-year-old girl has featured in their September issue here in France, dressed, I would say, somewhat inappropriately for a 10-year-old. And it's not so much the revealing nature of the clothes, but I suppose the high heels, the fact that it's set against the backdrop of animal skins. It's all a little bit, some would say, too much. Now, in any case, it's created a lot of controversy online. And if we have a look here, baby models, Le Véronica Décolle, and they're talking about the mother of this child, Véronica Lubry. Now, she is a minor celebrity in France, and she decided to have these photos taken of her daughter back in December, except actually the mother has sort of fallen off the celebrity radar in recent times. So people are wondering, did she have these photos published now, some 9 months after they were taken, to try to get herself back in the spotlight? And I suppose it reminds a lot of people too of those photos, that photo taken of Brooke Shields back in 1975, which haunted her for the rest of her life, basically, up to now. It was a photo taken when she was 10 years old in a bathtub, and that's not the full photo because she's actually naked in it. And it came to symbolise the inappropriate sexualisation of children, as some would say these most recent photos in Vogue do too.
Well, thanks a lot for that, James.
Thanks,
That's it for now. Please do stay tuned. More coming up shortly.